Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome to Speak on it. Welcome to Speak on it. I'm in. Welcome to Speak on it. Welcome to Speak on it. I'm in. Welcome to Speak on it. Welcome to Speak on it. I'm in. Welcome to Speak. Welcome to Speak. I'm in. 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 I'm in. Who you with, Kirk, dog?
Welcome to Speak on it with Who You With, Kirk Dog. I'm M. Who You With, Kirk Dog. Want to welcome everyone to the show. It's Thursday night. Welcome everyone on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. D Live is always in the house, and also Anchor.fm. You can always go to Anchor.fm, catch the replays of the show, any show you want to listen to. Then you can also subscribe to the show for a low fee of $2.99 per month. That's cheaper than a cup of coffee. So definitely go ahead and subscribe to the show, support the show like that. Y'all know what time it is. It's Thursday night. My girl is in the back, way back over in the back room, waiting for me to bring her home. But we're gonna have some history with Miss Risky. Then we also gonna, I don't know, tongue getting tied up. We're gonna talk about Botham Jean and also Biden. We're gonna hit on Biden and probably a couple of more stories. We don't know, but you know how we do. It's Thursday night, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Risky,
Hey.
you be killing me. I thought we was on an episode of What's Happening. Hey.
Hey.
How you doing today? How was your week?
I don't know. The end. It's almost the end of the year. Like I don't even remember spring.
Time is
And
flying.
we're in fall. It's ridiculous.
Time is
But
flying, and I'm like, ooh.
yeah. But I was at least, I did something I wanted to do today. Revamped my script
Well,
to
that's
make it,
good.
go with the notes that that one place gave me or instructed me on. Um, some studio in London, England, or something. And I was like, it makes sense. So we're working on that, within reason, because I do like the original, but I do understand, like, at least the beginning parts, like they need to understand who the character is initially. So we're,
You'll get it right. You'll get it right. And
of course.
that's all right. You do your update, and you get the $25 million
Yeah, I
buyout.
don't think anything, unless it's a blockbuster mega hit or Marvel, ain't doing all that.
Hey, it's October, Halloween time. Well, no, they don't.
Yeah, I don't have horror stories. I mean,
Yeah,
I have some
you're
short
right.
stories, but if anybody's looking, to convert, I should convert those. So we'll see. Some stuff I did when I was a teenager, I still kept them, and they're quite interesting. I like always wanted to revamp those and make them more modern.
You
Is
can
that a
always
voice I hear in the
revamp.
background?
No, I'm looking to the west, and I see a lot of lightning. So
Oh,
I'm like, I'm like, all right, one of those nights.
Yeah, we
Um,
haven't gotten anything yet.
well,
I
it's not
heard.
raining. We got some rain a couple of days ago, but
I've
it
just been
didn't do
seeing
much.
light shows in the distance. We haven't had anything, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know when I made it home, the wind kind of picked up, which the wind was blowing north when I got home, but when it picked up, it started blowing south. I'm like, okay, but
You and your direction, that means nothing to me.
I know.
Was that by the towards the McDonald's or the 7-Eleven?
It was by the it was by the car wash.
By the car wash at the
It
corner
was blowing
of.
yeah, the car wash.
That's how I tell directions. Oh no.
Mhm.
There's too much thinking, position of the suns and things like that. I can't do
Hey, I
that.
feel you on that. Um, so I'm glad that you are continue to work on your strip, and I'm behind schedule. I need to find some time to start back writing the second book, and also continue to try to get this first one published. So hopefully, be able to get us some lead on that and go the right way. Let
Yeah.
us do some big things.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I put my supernatural story on hold because I'm just not in the right mindset for that. I don't know.
and and I understand what they mean about writer's block because you have to be focused to do it.
Yeah. But this is a different genre for me. So, like my other stories, I think I could knock those out, but I don't want it to be the same type of story that I just put out. I want there to be some separation, and then I'll go in for that one.
Welcome to the show, Chucker R. On Twitch. Said, brother, keep putting your head down and continue to work. Progress will come with it, and success shall follow. Hey, I appreciate that encouragement. Hey, I believe everything you just said. We got to keep on working toward it, and it will work. I'm
Stay
just,
away from all these distractions. Like I discovered paint by numbers. It's my next project. Very ambitious.
oh, that look good. You painted good, and you was in between the
No, this
lines.
is what I'm going to paint.
Oh, oh, I thought you had already painted it. My
Listen, I guarantee you, it will not look anything like that.
bad.
It's like you may make out a Jason or a Michael Myers. And I was like, I thought it was smaller, but it's like huge. And I really need to learn my centimeters,
Hey,
my dimensions. Because I was
so,
like, oh, that's not that big. And then I was like, oh, that's pretty big.
so
40 by 60.
since you brought up Michael Myers,
Uh-huh.
um, did you see the video where this child loved Michael Myers?
Oh, yeah, the birthday.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you,
listen, we grew up like the running gag in our family is that we watched horror movies so much as children. We thought Michael Myers and Jason were uncles. Like we were like, and that came out when we were like in elementary school. So that's what we grew up on. So if you're raised right, you know that it's just fiction, you're fine. And we never had nightmares from horror movies because it was fiction. But here's the kicker. I had a freaking reoccurring nightmare off the most random movie ever. Still love this movie to this day. It's a kids movie.
oh,
Freaking E.T. E.T. gave me nightmares for like, yeah, I'll be
you,
right there.
you
Yeah, I thought aliens
like,
were coming down to abduct me for like a month and drove my mom crazy. Like sneaking in her room. I was like, aliens are in my room.
let's see if we can do it. Do the.
No, it's not nice to point.
You probably called
He was an
called
alien. He
called
was
me
an
tomorrow
alien.
talking about look, I didn't get no sleep no last night. It's all your fault. I dreamed about
No, but I
ET.
figured out what it was, like, because I worked in disability claims back in the dizzy. And one of the
Okay.
mental health clinicians, he said his daughter had nightmares after watching it. And he figured it was because when children watch movies that have adults as leads, it's fantasy because, you're a kid. You can't relate to adults. It's all fantasy. but here's this movie with kids that you can relate to, and you're on that same length, wave,
Yeah.
energy and stuff like that, and you're in it, and it's not fantasy because they're children, they're relatable, and so and I was like, that makes sense. So I wasn't that off. I mean, I was off as a child. I was a strange child, but we're trying to turn that weirdness and creativity into some monetary gains. We're working
Hey,
on that.
hey, 2022 gonna be our year.
Listen, that's what we thought 2021 was, but like I saw on a post, they wrote it out and it was 2020 actually won.
2020 actually won.
WON. WON. 2020 is still winning with all the
Yeah.
chaos. So
Yeah.
anyway,
All
but
right.
yeah,
Cool.
I do have history. It's short, but I saw this post on my Facebooks. That's how I get most of my stories. Like if you suggested or posted on there, I'll snag it and if it's interesting enough, I'll put it on there. And even if it's not, like I'll make it interesting. So this one is on Matilda Sissieretta Joyner Jones. She was born January 5th, 1868 or 69. There were a couple of dates floating around, um, but she was born in Portsmouth, Virginia. She was an American opera singer who was considered one of the greatest sopranos in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Her parents were Jeremiah Malachi Joyner. He was an ex-slave that was educated and literate, and he was also an African Methodist Episcopal minister. His wife Henrietta Beale was a singer in the church choir and was a washwoman. Um, so Matilda, she was the oldest of three children, although her siblings died when they were young. Matilda, who was nicknamed Sissy or Tilly by her family and friends, began singing around the house at a young age. Being that her father was a minister, she began singing at her father's church, Pond Street Baptist Church. In 1883, Joyner began a formal study of music at the Providence Academy of Music and studied with Ada Baroness Lancome, who was dubbed the Italian diva. In the late 1880s, Jones was accepted at the New England Conservatory of Music in Boston, studying under Flora Batson of the Bergen Star Company. On October 29th, 1885, she gave a solo performance in Providence as an opening act to a production of Richard III stage by John A. Arnoux, a theater troupe. Let's see, she also performed at Boston's Music Hall before an audience of 5,000 in 1887. Eventually, she would go on to meet and marry David Richard Jones. It's the name Jones, who would act as her manager early in her career. Let's see, April 5th, 1888, she made her singing debut in New York City at Steinway Hall, um, in which during a performance at Wallach Theater in New York, Jones came to the attention of Adelina Patti, uh, Adelina Patti's manager, who recommended that Jones tour the West Indies with the Fisk Jubilee Singers. Her rich, powerful soprano voice led one critic to dub her the Black Patti after Adelina Patti, who was the foremost opera diva of the day. And of course, Jones didn't like that. In February 1892, Jones performed at the White House for President Benjamin Harrison, and I think she eventually sang for four consecutive presidents during that time: Harrison, Grover Cleveland, William McKinley, and Theodore Roosevelt. She also sang for the British royal family as well. Now, for three of her White House performances, Jones had to enter the building through the back. She was finally allowed to enter through the front door for the Roosevelt performance. Until 1896, Jones sang in concert, operas, and vaudeville halls in either solo recitals or with groups such as Patrick Gilmore's band. She also appeared at the Grand African Jubilee at Madison Square Garden in 1892, um, when she sang for Benjamin Harris at the White House in that same year. She appeared at the World Columbian Exposition in Chicago in 1893, and her tours pretty much took her throughout Canada, England, and the continental Europe area. She included much spiritual and ballad materials in her repertoire, but she preferred selections from grand and light operas. From 1896 to 1916, she toured in vaudeville halls, like I stated before, and a troupe. And at this point, she's touring with a troupe called the Black Patty Troubadours, which was a motley group whose performances include blackface minstrel songs and coon songs that featured acrobats and comedians. Madame Jones, which is what she preferred to be known as, restricted herself to operatic selections, which over the years grew to include costumes and scenery. Like a real opera, because that's the life she submerged herself into. Um, she performed mostly for white audiences who saw her as an oddity. She was nonetheless widely acclaimed, the premier African American singer of her time. She was also the highest paid African American performer of her time and remained the star of the famous troubadours for around 2 decades while they toured each season and established their popularities in principal cities in the United States and Canada. The reviews provided Jones with a comfortable income, reportedly in excess of $20,000 a year. Now, with inflation, at this time would be considered $600,000 today. So she was living very well. She led the company with reassurance of a 40-week season that would give her sustainability or sustainable income, guaranteed lodging, and as well appointed or also given a stylish Pullman car, and the ability to sing opera and operetta excerpts in the final section of the show. After the breakup of the Black Patty Troubadours in 1916, she lived in obscurity until her death in June 24th, 1933. In 1967, a book titled Black Magic by Milton Metzer and Langston Hughes described her as a stunning woman with a beautiful voice. Jones was also written about in Olio, which is a book of poetry written by Tilhimba Jess that was released in 2016. That book actually won a Pulitzer Prize for poetry in 2017. Let's see, in 2003, several dresses from her early stage career were maintained by the Rhode Island Heritage Society. In 2013, the Rhode Island Black Heritage Society was seeking funds to restore one of her dresses that she wore in 1890s. It was a yellow silk dress that was embroidered and deteriorated. Her restored wedding gown at the time was on display at the John Brown House Museum in Providence. And then, let's see, 2012, a biography of Jones by Maureen Lee titled Sissieretta Jones, The Greatest Singer of Her Race, was published. And the research for the book was partly based on a scrapbook of Jones, which was displayed at Howard University. At the same time, a plaque honoring Jones was erected near the location of her home in east side of Providence. 2013, she was inducted into the Rhode Island Music Hall of Fame. 1820, the New York Times published a belated obituary for her. And let's see, and before her death in 2019, the great American soprano Jessie Newman was in the planning stages for a multimedia tribute to her, Call Her by Her Name. And so she was very well respected, and a very well respected soprano on both sides. She entertained for years and did very well for her time, So that's my story on her. So
But that's definitely some good history. I was reading up
yeah,
on her also while you was talking. Um, she did get married. I don't know if you mentioned it.
yeah, that's how she got her name
Uh,
Jones.
yes, got married at the age of 14,
hmm Yeah,
and but she ended up getting divorced because her husband had a gambling problem. So, um,
but
and
he
it's
still managed most of her career.
yeah,
So I guess they kept that separate. She's like, "Give me my money. You can do what you want with yours.
exactly.
You ain't messing up the whole household funds."
And then she basically stopped performing when her mother got sick.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, even though she was the highest paid um, black artist at the time, during that time, she still died in poverty, broke, um, which is unfortunately. But I wonder whatever happened to her kids. Did you read anything about it? Because she had two
No,
adopted
like
kids.
it was crazy because it's like there was very little on her, so I just kept it with what was presented. Um, didn't have time to do a deep dive on every aspect of her life. Wanted to keep it short.
Yeah.
But if you're interested, like I said, there were some books, written about her, and I'm sure there are more details in those writings.
Yeah, because I seen where she had, and I don't know if you hit on it. She just not too long ago they put a headstone on her grave in 2018.
And it's probably the same time they did that, the obituary.
Probably is. I'm trying to I'm
That's
trying to see. It probably is, but that's some good information. I've never heard of. I wonder if we could find some of her old music or not.
I mean, I'm sure there is. I mean, they have old operas and monk music. So, like, if she was one of the greatest sopranos, I mean, I'm sure they do. Um,
I would definitely love to find out if we can if I can pull up some of her
they
old
probably have it on
music.
YouTube.
I was thinking that too. I like it probably on YouTube. May even have a video.
I don't know. I don't know. No, they
Uh,
may have had something, but I don't know if it would be like worth pulling up and watching. It probably wouldn't be
yeah,
the best quality.
yeah. So that's interesting. Thank you for always bringing that history because I've never heard of her.
I hadn't either. Like the
Never
only
heard of her.
black opera singer I remember hearing about was it Marian Anderson, who sang on the steps of the White House or something?
Yeah,
Like she was an opera singer. Well, we learned that in history classes. And so uh, be interesting. Like maybe I should do something on her, see if maybe she references her.
She may be.
Like, because like I thought she was it, and then I found like somebody posted this story, and I was like, really? Okay.
Then Miss Norman, which is another great opera singer who died in 2019. I'm like, man, that's some good history. It's history all around us. We've been history making for years. Um, but thank you for doing the research on the history stories. And
Well,
I'm sorry, my mind went blank. You are listening to Speak on It with Who You With Kirk Dog. How me, I'm Who You With Kirk Dog. It's Thursday night with Miss Risky. Want to thank everyone for tuning in on all our platforms and also Anchor.fm. Thank y'all for tuning in. Um, Man, that was good. So this story just came out yesterday. Harding University dedicated memorial in honor of Botham Jean. Botham Jean is the young man that was killed here in Dallas by off-duty police officer Amber Geiger, who is serving a 10-year sentence. And uh, his the school he graduated from, Harding University, in 2016, decided to give him a memorial on campus, which is great. Um, when I seen this story, I know we've heard all this good things that he done while he was here. That mean a lot. But this university put a memorial on campus in Searcy, Arkansas. Um, so shout out to them because that mean he touched a lot of lives while he was in school too. Um, so shout out to Harding University and whoever took the initiative to get that happening. Um, Unfortunately, he was a life that was uh, taken due to a mistake. Um, I know some people argue, well, God don't make no mistake. No, he don't. He know exactly how life is gonna, the beginning to the end. And so, but this young man was actually pretty good. From what I've heard about him, read about him, uh, he walked that life. And but hey, shout out to Harding University for taking a step on that and making it history. So history is still being made today. So there you go. And um, not too long, I guess a couple of hours now, maybe 2 or 3 hours ago, uh, right before the shutdown took place, I believe it was 5 hours before the shutdown, our government was going to shut down if they did not come up with an agreement. And 5 hours before they came to an agreement, and Biden signed the bill to keep the government working because it would
yeah,
have
through
made
December 3rd.
until
So right
December the
before the
3rd.
holidays.
I hope they start to work now to start getting that in place because
I
we're
mean, and
still
it's
in
just crazy to me because like they could shut down and not be affected wage wise because they make their own salary, they make it six figures and turn it into millions of dollars from all this, business they do on the side, legal or not. And they
yeah.
don't think about the regular folks. Like, you work for us, like, and you have people who are in government, who work for the government, who don't make that much money. So like a shutdown would totally cripple them, like the last one we had, where like they hadn't been paid. And yeah, they were still getting their money eventually, but if you don't have a savings and didn't plan for a shutdown, you're just stuck. Like, you're making maybe $17 an hour, you can't make that work. Like, everything's inflated, so it's not fair to the common man. And they really need to stop this mess. Like, come on now. Like, cut
And,
them in their pockets.
and not only that, I know people that work for the government, and then they turn around and when they have to shut down and have to furlough people,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, you cannot just go out and get you another job.
Mm-mm. No, you just on holding pattern and hoping for the best.
Well, you have to file for workers' comp, not
Well,
workers'
not
comp,
workers' comp. It's like unemployment.
unemployment,
Yeah.
unemployment, but you cannot work anywhere else during that time.
But even that's not immediate. Like, if like thousands of
Like,
people are out and furloughed, the government's kind of slow. And then if the government's shut down, guess who's not processing those furloughs and those payments? Not them,
exactly.
because
So,
they're not getting paid. you know. So yeah,
wel-
it's just ridiculous.
welcome to the show. T Cal is in the house. And hey, y'all. Hey, uh, thank you for always supporting the show. But yeah, with that furlough, it's not good. Now,
Because it
you
would
gotta
affect
have your
what,
stuff.
hundreds of thousands of non-essential federal employees, forcing them to take either time off without pay. Um, so essential functions such as military, law enforcement, and traffic control would continue functioning, functioning. But agencies such as like National Park Services would be closed. Um, so yeah, what was the last shutdown? Partial shutdown was in 2019, and it cost the economy $11 billion.
Mm, yeah, that's not good. And then on top of that, um, like people that work for Internal Revenue Service,
Oh yeah,
uh,
like
they
everything shut down.
they're
So,
normally the first ones to get hit.
hmm
They will get furloughed, and you basically just hope you have saving or hope you married and both of you not working for the government.
yeah,
Yeah,
but that like pretty much. But like again, a lot of people are even if you're booed up and have a spouse who's not working in the government, most households are two household incomes.
yeah.
You down to one, you gonna be struggling. A lot of bills aren't gonna get paid. A lot of ramen noodles gonna be made. A lot of spaghetti.
So now you wrap.
A lot of spaghetti and tacos. Whatever you can do with ground beef, and that's gone up. But what was the minimum wage has not. Like, we've been inflated times, and all these higher ups, making millions of dollars and paying CFOs and VPs and all these people getting vacation packages, while their people, they're stuck making bare minimum. Like, we need to increase that. Like, you're not going to hurt the company; it's going to do fine. This is not a
Exactly.
mom and pop shop, but major corporations, they'll be fine. So don't let them believe like, well, if we didn't increase the wages, then we're going to have to inflate all the cost of all our products. No, you've been increasing it for 30 years, and the
And,
wage has still been the same. So give me another excuse, CEO. Like,
and
come
it's
on, try again.
amazing how high food have gone up.
Yeah, like I couldn't even get healthy foods. Like, and I do all right. Like, listen, I'm not destitute. Like, I do all right. But I went to Tom Thumb to buy some, fruits and veggies because I'm doing my smoothies. And when I tell you, like, that's all I had in my cart, $50.
Mm.
And I was like, I could have just gotten some ramen, chicken, ground beef, and tortillas and called it a day for half of that. Like, come on now.
They
Like,
say it's
we've been
expensive to
gouged
eat
enough.
healthy.
It's corporate America that should have saved their pennies so they can protect their employees. but they don't care about their employees because their thing is, well, either the government will bail us out, or we can go overseas for cheap, and it
E-
shouldn't be like that.
exactly. Now I know now that uh, over in Del Rio, um, since it's cleared out, the media have stopped talking about it. Um, but we still need to bring attention to missing Black people, um, because there's a lot of people that are still missing, and we
Oh no,
need to.
then we don't get abducted. We just run off. We just run off or join gangs at 20, 40 years old. Or 5 and 6. Like we just like, and I'm tired, and that's something that I'm working on, when something we are working on it for the end of the year, maybe do the different types of laws, the white law and the black laws. Goes the same way with missing people. Certain people are
Yes,
highlighted, uh, and they're usually lighter in complexion than minorities, and that's a fact. Even reading a post from Steve Noviello, who does Fox 4 News, he posted that statistically that is true. They do stories on a lot of, missing Caucasians. Those are highlighted over their counterparts. He has stats. I'll look on his page, and because he wrote like a whole thing, and of course people were upset about that. And I was like, but how can you not see that? Like everybody's always like, oh, everybody's bringing up black and white. It's not black and white. You have a missing person. Yeah, but black woman was missing, and we didn't even see her on the news. Like same time. And then last week we talked about, what was it, Natalie Holloway. She was
yeah,
missing. They did a whole thing at the same time that black lady was missing, and crickets.
it,
And it happens all the time with children. Um, there we don't get Amber Alerts as readily available for us as the little white kids who are missing for 5 minutes, and it needs to change. Like treat all people the same way. That's why we say Black Lives Matter. Like we shouldn't have to say also, not just y'all.
exactly.
Like take us into consideration. Like change the narrative of how black and brown people are viewed in the media and in the world.
And I want to shout out to a couple of sisters uh, out of DC, I believe. Yeah, um, they are sisters-in-laws, Natalie Wilson and Derica Wilson. They founded a nonprofit group, Black and Missing Foundation Incorporation, in 2008. Um, Natalie public relation background and Derek law enforcement career were a useful mix. Together, they knew how to validate missing person report, get the word out, and work with law enforcement to help reunite families. So, shout out to those two sisters for taking a step, and they've been doing this since 2008. And I've heard of different organizations, but never really dug into it, who was behind it. But this is two sisters that is doing this. So shout out to them, and hopefully, when we get that show, maybe we can possibly get them on the show to bring some highlight on it.
Yeah, I
And
pulled
I,
up his thing. Like he wrote a whole thing, and what led to it, he posted this, and nobody read what he posted because they just saw that and they're like, "Why gotta be white? I mean, that's what she's missing. It's tragic." And so he even said, "Listen, in the 23 years he's been a journalist, like this shouldn't even be a debate. Like, yes, they brought her story out, but when it comes to when somebody typically goes missing, they go missing. talking about that's it. White, black, Asian, straight, gay, trans, it doesn't matter. And he's like, if there's no additional information, there's nothing to talk about. And he does say even white families, who talk to the media, they are, if they don't have anything to add, it's quickly forgotten. But he says for the most part, you don't see um, the media hype as with the white person as you would with you know black or brown or Asian. So yeah.
Ex- Exactly, because I think this week, I want to say I received two Amber Alerts this
Hmm.
week, and I think one happened like in the middle of the night, and a lot of time, unfortunately, sometime when we get these Amber Alerts, um, might be somebody who ran off with a so-called boyfriend or something, but they'll put out an Amber Alert for it. But as Black people, we just can't get recognized like that,
Hmm.
unfortunately.
I mean, because again, like you see it, like just watching the ID channel, which I love, or all those gone missing or murder mysteries. But you see kids going missing, and they're like, well, they just ran away. My child doesn't have a history of running away, and you see that,
Exactly.
but they automatically profile black and brown families as being poor, drug dealing, living on the system, black people running out the community. Your kid just ran off and probably in a game. We aren't going to do anything about it. They'll come back eventually. That's the attitude that's given. But poor little Susie and Tinny, they were just playing in the backyard. Oh, we need to sit like the whole community comes out and looking for them, and it turns out the families took them out. Like like let's be real. Like, come on, you like a lot of the stories I see is not a lot of us on there. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm sure it happens, but but yeah, it's like we need to change the narrative of how people are presented because media uh, they do shape how society is treated or how they treat people. And right now, black and brown, trans, gay, lesbian, the rainbow family, we're the villains. And for every great story, you need a villain. Apparently, and unfortunately, that's us. And until that's changed, and people just go by on your character, we'll keep going, being in the same situation.
yeah. I was looking uh, at the Amber Alert I received last Saturday. Came in at 6:11 a.m. 7-year-old white female from Walnut Spring, Texas, last seen. Have her description. Um, Let me see if they say who she was traveling with. No, they don't. Then another one was a 17-year-old Hispanic female from Bay City, Texas, black, the description and all of that of the car. So I just feel we need the same energy with everyone.
Because what they
Uh,
say the first 48 hours or 24 hours is the most crucial.
the
And
first 48 is,
mhm,
well, that's the show 48, but they
yeah,
say in a murder case, the first 48 is the most crucial
but
part.
missing is 24 hours, especially for a child, because
Well,
they could be
they want you to wait 24 hours before you actually report a missing.
not for children.
Yeah, not for children, but
Yeah,
for,
but like for the most part, children is supposed to be immediate. You need all hands on deck to
if
find
they
your
meet the
child.
criteria.
Right. If they're not runaways, black, trans, brown, because we just in the streets
So
doing things.
if it meet the criteria, then they can do it. Now,
But
put out the
also,
Amber
like,
Alert.
even as an adult, if there's mysterious circumstances, um, then they waive that also. So it just depends on the situation, but for missing, like if you know somebody's missing, and like just do your due diligence, just check it out,
Yeah. And,
get some
and
information, even if it doesn't turn into, at least collect some data, so that you won't be like, well, it's a cold case, uh like we don't know where to start. And then it's like, but I gave you information and you didn't take it, and so
yeah.
now like she's in the field and all the evidence is gone. Like, what was that, the Matisse? Like, we'll never know what happened to her.
Who was that again?
She was the one who was acting erratic at a restaurant, and I
Okay,
want to
yeah.
say
Yeah,
it
went
was,
to jail.
yeah, they took her to jail, and then they really couldn't hold her on anything because she wasn't intoxicated. And they called her mom, who was on her way. She was in another, like, she was like 3 hours away. Was driving there, got there, and they were like, "Oh, we just released her at 2 a.m. and we have her on surveillance, and they have her talking to a cop, but because they waited so long, they have no idea if he was involved, if he said anything, knew where she was going, and so from that point, they just lose all the trails, and they just ended up finding her bones in a weed ranch in the mountains somewhere.
On the top of the mountain.
Yeah,
So
so
definitely, I just wish people just would treat everybody the same across the board. The color should not even play a part. Why should we even
exactly.
have your race on application?
Right, exactly, because it's just giving in to the racism. Like, listen, you either American, Canadian, Mexican, European, whatever. In our case, Texan, because we're backwards. Floridians, because we don't want them. They need
Yeah.
to stay over there with them gators.
And to be honest, it's kind of hard to even say you from Texas because they might be like, "Oh, y'all over there with that food. We don't want you."
Like, for real. Like, oh my gosh, it's just horrible everywhere. We just need to revamp the government, like for real. Like, I don't know how we can do that. I need to research that. But
No,
we as the people, we need to come together. All old laws from the 1600s need to be done with. No more amendments. Just start over.
well, I think the first step of doing it is getting out and vote. Get
Yep.
some of these lawmakers that is stuck in those old ways.
Yeah,
Get
but
them
no,
out
I
of
think we just
office.
need to fire all of them and start over.
Yeah, make them a
No
term
more
limit.
lifetime appointments. No more giving
Yeah,
yourself raises unless we vote on it. Because if we don't get
exactly.
any raises, you don't get any
You
raises.
don't get any raises.
You haven't done anything and can't prove that you've actually helped the community, you're out.
I kind of like what radio say about Canada. If they don't like, if a candidate get into office, they vote them
Mhm.
in, and if they don't like what they doing,
Yeah,
they
vote
do
them
a
out.
recall, vote them
Yeah,
out.
and
They
that's what
they remove it. They remove that person immediately. They
yeah,
have a
and that's what we need.
recall and remove them, and
And we
that's
need to
what
do
we
that.
need.
Like for real. Talk about all these countries all you want, talking about socialism is bad, da da da. Bad for who? Corporations? like
I don't know.
like it's like getting free stuff makes people lazy. No, it doesn't. It means you care
Giving them
about your
tax
people.
breaks.
Like for real. Like come on now. Like eventually you need healthy people. Like you go like eventually like we're gonna all die out and the wealthy is not gonna work for other wealthy people. Like somebody's gotta do the work. So keep us healthy and happy.
Exactly.
Like that commercial said, what happy cows make happy cheese.
Yep.
Like for real. Like even if it's a small gesture, like do something. Treat your employees with respect and your people.
It's amazing how
Your
everything.
constituents treat us with respect and we'll treat you with respect and do right by you.
Exactly. It's amazing how everything is going up in the world except for wages.
Right, like for real. We've had all like inflated all these times, and all we hear is excuses. Well, if we raise the minimum wage, then we have to raise the price of burgers. Listen, a Happy Meal is now $4.15. You used to be able to get a Happy Meal for $2.15, and that's with tax.
You can
And their
subscribe,
wages are still $7 an hour. I don't know how much they make, but like for real.
and you can subscribe to the show for $2.99 a month.
That's less than a Happy Meal now.
Exactly.
And then, did
So,
you see the story of the Dollar Tree, my favorite place ever?
oh Lord, they need to
Like they're
change
going
their
up,
name.
like for real. Like I don't have a Dollar General, but I mean, I guess they're gonna have to be like the Dollar General, like mini Dollar Generals.
Going up anywhere from a quarter to $5.
But here's the kicker, because I saw it coming, because they started selling like the good stuff, like the name brand, like Fabuloso, Pine Sol, like the big bottles for like
Mm,
$4 and $5, still cheaper than what you see in the store. And I was like, they got a lot of stuff over here that's like not a dollar, like premium section. And of course, I bought it because again, cheaper than what's in regular stores. But now they're raising everything. I was like, wow, okay,
they was testing it out, see if it affect their sales or not.
probably not.
It won't, because if
Yeah,
it's cheaper than what it is at the
yeah, like I said,
stores,
Fabuloso and the Pine, the big bottles. You go to places like Tom Thumb, that's probably like $9. You can't even get wipes that cheap at general stores.
mm, well, it's definitely
And it's just right there, so I'm gonna still continue to be a patron.
hey.
Spending my $20 to $50 in a Dollar Tree.
So that's so would that be considered as the Sam's of the dollar stores?
No, because it's not in bulk.
Well, you said the big baller. How big are
Just
they?
the regular. I don't know. I don't know sizes. It's just the big like containers. Like what? Not a gallon, like a quart. I don't know how they sell it. Let me get my bottle.
T. Kyle asked, "What are you drinking?"
Water.
Yeah,
Gotta
that's what
stay
I'm drinking
hydrated.
too. I think I've done. I don't know. I've probably done almost 2 gallons today of water.
Don't drink too much. You can drown yourself internally.
I probably end up paying for it later on tonight.
And
Go to
those
bed.
rubber sheets, or what do they call those? I don't know. For the kids that wet their bed.
Oh no. I'll be jumping up and down all night long, be mad, be like,
Now, I usually just like I'll go one good time, before bed, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh, my cup runneth over. Ah, my bladder's in pain
yeah,
because I
I'll be
wake
like,
up early enough. So yeah.
oh,
What kind of tequila?
oh,
Are we having a party?
and that's what I'm saying. What kind is it? Uh,
Oh, did I ever tell you my tequila story?
uh, you drunk more than one, and then you hit
Listen,
the
I hung
floor.
out with the Mexicans,
Oh,
and like this was in when I was in my to late 20s.
okay.
And
Hold on,
listen,
hold on, real quick.
okay,
Just give me 2 seconds, and then
all right.
we'll start the show. I mean, start the story. Hold on. You are listening to Speak on It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I am Who You With Kurt Dog. And Miss Risky is in the house finna tell us about her tequila story.
It's just a gnarly story. So hung out with the Mexicans. And listen, their parties go on forever. So I'm sitting at the table. Most of them don't speak English. Only my friend and the friend I brought. We were English speakers. Get by with some Spanish. So they bring out different tequilas straight from Mexico.
Oh
No,
God.
like some of them had names on them, but I couldn't remember. So they're like, "Oh, these are all smooth," and they were great. Like you didn't have to do the lime or salt; they were so smooth. They didn't burn. And so I'm just like listening. I just remember like I'm decent with Spanish. I can understand, like, I can figure out what you're saying. But as the night went on, and so they, they're bringing out more and more tequilas, and I'm just sitting there, and in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, don't, just stay cool. Don't do anything crazy. Be cool. And so they're like, all right, here's one more. And this one came in like a canteen, like a porcelain canteen. I think it was like a moonshine, though. So I took it and I took it like a shot. And they were like, no, 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 you're supposed to sip it. It's like, it was too late now. It's down. Again, more stories, hard to understand. And I'm like, just sitting there. And they're like, Tanya, are you okay? hmm Yeah, I'm good. And I was like, and all of a sudden, my eye started to cross, just this one eye, and I had to pull it back. And I was like, no, I'm not all right. I'm not all right. I'm losing control. And I was like, from that point on, I cannot hang. Like, hey, Marcella, la, la.
What's going on? Marcellus is in the house, straight out of Louisiana. Um, Welcome to the show. Thank you for
Yeah,
always
welcome.
supporting
We're
the
about to
show.
leave now. Bye.
So that was your drunken story.
With tequila.
Oh,
Just the tequila story. There are other stories, but tequila.
yeah. I see one thing about okay, and I think I told this story before. When my wife and I got married, we got married in Mexico, and I was like, you know what? We bought some liquor back. Well, I got some El Presidente. Now I can hold my liquor, which I don't drink a lot, but I can hold my liquor. But El Presidente is a brandy, and I tried to mix it. It got stronger. First, I mixed it with Coke. It got stronger. Mixed it with juice. It got stronger. Mixed it with water. It got even stronger. I said, no. I started calling that stuff snake oil. I said, nope, I'm not messing with it. Um, so one year, matter of fact, the same year we got married, um, we had our crew Christmas party, and someone invited um, one of their homeboys to come over there. And, we chilling. Um, so dude wanted to play me at dominoes, but he wanted to play for money. Tried to talk him out of it. He said, "No, I can beat you. I can beat you." Okay, cool. I'll play him. I made a mistake. I think we were playing for $20. Made a mistake, and I didn't get the money up front. Have someone else to hold our money, which I $20 not gonna make me or break me. So the dude, the first hand he was doing good, second hand I came back and beat him. He didn't want to pay, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna argue over you over $20. But I said, you know what? Keep your money. It ain't even worth it. Keep it. But long story short, he had been drinking at Presidente. So we're in the garage talking, and he's standing in front of me. All of a sudden, he just started rocking like this. And if it wasn't for the trash can, he would have hit the floor. Everybody ran outside talking about Kirk, though. I'm out there like, I did not touch this dude. That's El Presidente. So you got to be mindful when you're drinking. You got to know who you drinking with too, because
Yeah.
some people will drink you up under the table. Um, Marcella said, "Glad I don't drink." T-Cal said, "I haven't done tequila in years because I lost time with it at my honeymoon, but recently introduced myself to it." Marcella said, "Oh, T-Cal said, good. Marcella's keep it that way." Um, so
Yeah, some of those it's like dangerous. Like I had a vodka drink in my freezer for I don't even know how long it's in there. Um, but no matter what I did, like you said, it just got stronger. And I kept it in my freezer, so I knew it had a high alcohol content. But it was like pink lemonade something. But everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, it's so good! You gotta try it." I almost died. trying to get it down. So I gave it to my sister, and she's like, "Oh," she tried it. She was like, "It's strong." She did put Sprite in it. She's like, "How is this possible? It got stronger."
Exactly.
And she's like, "It's like 40 proof, or like, what is it? Is it? I forgot the proofs, but it was pretty high because it doesn't freeze.
True.
So
Now,
it was like pink lemonade and vodka. It was pretty much pure vodka that was pink.
you might as well went to the gas pump.
Like, it is just horrible. And I was like, all my friends drink that mess. Like, y'all, what? Sheesh. I'm not there yet.
Exactly. Now, one of my friends, he used to come on the show when I first started, J Mug, and we used to hang out at several places before the pandemic. And this one particular Mexican restaurant we used to go to, we sitting there and we drinking our drinks or whatever. And I said, Lord, they got El Presidente. Man, the two of us just talking and like, don't want none of that. So this guy sitting on the side of us, he ordered 3 El Presidente shots. Me and J Mud looked at each other like, what are you finna do? Now we wasn't even talking to this guy. The bartender bring the Presidente up there. He said, give each one, give both of them one. We looked at him like, huh? When we left out of there, we ended up drinking 3 of them. I was like, nah, I can't do that no more. You gotta know what you're drinking and who you drinking with. Yeah, Presidente is not good. T-Kai said that would sneak up on you. Uh, my hat goes off to people that can drink it. And I have a friend that is Hispanic. Um, he said when he was in high school, that was kind of like the Mexican Wild Irish Rose. Yeah, Presidente. That's how strong it was. It was cheap liquor back then, and they would drink it. It was very strong. So I was like, nope. But that's cool. I I don't drink that much anymore. Um, I
Yeah, my
haven't said
kidneys are
that.
probably dying. They're probably on the like need to call a friend.
Well,
Like,
that's why I drink plenty of water. And then
I do too,
occasionally,
but man, our family, we like our libation.
then drink you some cranberry juice every once in a while. That's kind of like
With
when
some
we
vodka.
went with some vodka. None of that cheap cranberry juice though. It'll mess your drink up. Now I do like Jack Daniel and um uh TK said, I'm so full I'm sitting here waiting for food. Have you ate? Full of what? The tequila or what?
I know, right?
Uh, and okay. Well hey, be
They
careful.
already gave what? Gave it to you, hit it home, what?
I I guess and they already gave it to me headed
Yeah,
home.
yeah.
Heading what? I already gave you what? The food or what? Or the tequila? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might need to
T-Cal,
cut.
did you breathing in the fumes of the tequila? I don't think that's tequila. Get out the room, get some oxygen.
Don't light a match. Don't light a
Don't
match.
like that.
She talking about yeah, the food. Oh, oh, she said I'm so full. I'm sitting here waiting for food, and they already gave it to me headed home. Yeah, you may not want
It's
to
nap 30.
be careful. Drinking and driving, not good. But um, Yeah, I've had many experience in drinking, but
Yeah, listen, when you're older, hangovers are not fun. Like when you're
I,
in your 20s or whatever, you can shake it off and be good the next day to do party things again. But when you're older, so I try not, I know my limits. I just want to feel a chill and sleepy time. I'm good.
I don't really get hangovers.
Oh no,
Um,
I don't either because I refuse to get them because they're not pleasant when you're older.
and I only remember one time when I called Uncle Earl. Um, and I was young when that happened. I
Keep
was
calling Phil. What had happened? And then I'll tell you my why I don't drink the way I do because it was like the low point of my life, and I bet you my story beats yours.
well, I think I was 16, 17, something like that. And I went to my first project party, and I was up in that project party. By then, Sigmund Bumpy Face was the drink. I remember coming into this project party. They had the gallon passing it around, and I took a swig just straight to the head. We leave that party. I remember being in the back seat, and I kept doing like this. I didn't throw up, but I made it to um, one of my good friend's sister house, and I'm sitting on the couch. I remember doing like this. Then all of a sudden, I heard, "Kurt, dog, get your ass up!" I threw up all over her floor. I said, "Damn." Then I went back to sleep.
Of course, because that's what drunk people do.
Well, she talked about me that next day. And I said, "Boy," but I apologize. I know I apologize many times to her, but that's the only time I recall calling her.
And see, the first and only time I had gotten a hangover and drank that much was in my 30s because I was dating a military boy. So they got off at about 11. I was at work in retail, didn't get off until 1. By the time I got to them, we're just drinking. They're in the garage drinking beers. I don't know where this beer came from, but they had an endless supply. So we're drinking beers. His roommate's girlfriend's getting off work, who incidentally was my boss at the time. She's like, hey, I'm bringing tequila. Because she is the Hispanic person that, you know, introduced me to the tequilas. And so she gets there. So now we converted from beer to tequilas. Mind you, I haven't had any food. Like, no food. I just got off work and we're just drinking. So by 10 o'clock, I was like, listen, I need food. So they're too drunk to do anything. So they just hand me wallets. I order a pizza. I get to the door because I'm still, lucid. Eat my slice, and I'm like, listen, it's a wrap. I need to go to bed. So get to bed, and I don't know what time it was, but I thought I was about to fly out the bed. I clawed him, and I think he still has the marks in his ribs from where I dug in because I thought I was flying out the bed. And I'm trying to brace myself. And then I was like, I need to throw up. So I'm crawling on the floor trying to get to this bathroom, which I cannot find all of a sudden. Like it's just pitch black. There's no light anywhere. It's just a long hallway like in Poltergeist. It just kept getting longer to the point where I stopped in the middle of the hallway because I was just like, I'm just gonna lay here because I can't figure out where I am. My roommate's dog comes out because she sensed the danger. She comes out, nuzzles me, and I was like, just take me back to the room. And she literally guided me back to the room. I don't know if I threw up in the hallway. I never made it to the bathroom, but she helped me get to the bedroom. That was a smart dog. Hexa, you will be missed. And that was the lowest point of my life. And I was like, I will never drink like that again. Because a freaking
Oh,
dog had to help me out of the hallway.
and nobody else would. I guess.
Well, they were asleep. They were out cold. Like the dog just, I think, sensed I was up, it was a, good guard dog. It was like somebody's in the hall and found me because I was lost in a hallway, like feeling on walls, like, where is this bathroom and where's the light? I just
The
gave
dog
up.
probably cleaned it up for you.
I mean, she probably did. She probably did. She helped me out. She hooked us up. And I
Well,
was just like, I just remember it's like, "Hey, help me back to the room. And she took me back to, I actually said his name. And I think she's like, oh, yeah, let's go here.
I
Because
had
she was very well trained.
when you said this story, I thought about another time I called her. It was when you said the piece, it made me think about something. And shout out to my friend E Dub. Um, we've been friends since about '98, and my birthday that year, it was my birthday and her cousin' birthday. I think I was about 25, 26 years old at the time. And she was like, hey, we're going to happy hours at Steppers. Okay, she said, I'm coming by to pick you up. We're going to happy hour. So we get to Steppers, and I remember her saying, telling the waitress, every time you come around, bring them a drink. At the time, I was drinking wine, White Zinfandel. And she said, every time you come around, you have a drink for them. I'm like, this ain't gonna end well. So after we leave Steppers, it was happy hour. We leave there, and I stayed in Arlington. So she taking me home. I'm like, hey, E, I gotta go to the bathroom. I can't wait till I get home. So she pull up in this parking garage, and there's some kids in there skateboarding. Um, so we up in there, and I didn't realize she was drunk because when she was trying to park in the parking spot, she had just got this car and scraped the side of it on the beam. I get out, I use the bathroom, get back in. Down the street from my house, get there. I'm thinking I feel good. I called and ordered some Chinese food. Ordered Chinese food, wake up about an hour and a half later. I called them. I'm like, hey, I'm waiting for y'all to bring my food. They said, sir, we've been there. We've called you. We didn't get no answer. I said, my bad. Bring it back out. They brought the food back out. I throw it in the microwave, warm it up. I eat that Chinese food. All of a sudden, after I ate, when he got in the bed, and I'm on all fours in the middle of my bed, just calling her. Lo mein everywhere. And I'm gonna tell you, wine and Chinese food is a bad smell together. I said, man, that messed me up. I said, nope, not doing that no more. That was the last time I actually uh, called her after a night like. And we're talking about by this time it's probably by 7 o'clock because happy hour was what 5, and we left there probably by 6:30. Get home, ordered the Chinese food, and it went downhill from there. And I had to go to work the next morning. That was hell. So I was
Now,
like,
I
look,
was looking up something because when I hang out with my poker mom, like, it's dangerous to leave. Like, if you have to go to the restroom or whatever, whenever you come back, there's always a drink waiting for you, and you haven't finished your initial drink. So came back, like the beer in the background is mine, and then she had 2 more drinks in the ready. And I was like, I haven't even finished my first drink, Carol. And she's like, whatever. I finished my beer, leave, and there was another drink. I was like, Carol, stop it.
That's why I said you
She
gotta
takes
know
a
who you
drink.
drinking with.
Yeah. So I was just like, you gotta, like,
You
it
have
got
to
to a
know.
point where I had to tell the waitress, don't listen to her. Listen, I got a long way to drive. I like to make it home.
Exactly. I remember when for our 10-year anniversary, we went back to Cancun to celebrate, and our crew came out. I remember telling them, I'm not drinking no damn more. Because of course the drinks was flowing, it was whatever you want. We had shots after shots after shots after shots. I said, look, because we started off, this how we had it set up. We was all at the pool that day with the swim up bar. So we drinking. It's hot. We drinking. We had a photo shoot. So we do the photo shoot. Then we had happy hour. They had a separate room set up, too much food in there, and all the liquor you wanted for like 15 people, 16 people. So we do that. And then after that, we're supposed to go to dinner. Well, we just had all this food in this thing. We go to dinner. What we do? We drink. We drink. Then we turn around, um, go in the lobby in the bar, drink more. I'm like, well, damn. We leave there, then we go into the hookah lounge they had. I have to show you the picture separate on that. I can't put my folks out like that. But I go into the hookah line. I'm just say somebody was upside down on the couch smoking a hookah. That's all I'm gonna say. And I said, you know what? I'm not drinking no goddamn more. And I didn't drink for at least a couple of months after that. I said, no, I'm too old for this. I can't do it no more. So that's my drinking experience. I drink when I want to. If I don't feel it, I won't do it. That's how to it. But man, this week have gone by crazy. I know I wasn't here last night because I got off too late and I was tired. Got up early, got off late, and I was tired. So, um, but we are live tonight, and we're gonna be making some changes because both of our schedules have been changing quite a bit, mainly mine. But mainly
Yeah.
mine.
Always trying to throw me in there. I'm like,
Well, we're a team. We in this together. Oh, okay. I, okay. But anyway, we're going to be making some changes to the near future. I want to make sure we get a lockdown correctly. Um, what I'm glad you made it home, T Cal. Uh, hey, y'all. Ooh, damn. You see that lightning?
no.
I've been hearing thunder, but I'm like, damn, that look like
Sure it wasn't a rumble in your tummy?
no, that was some lightning. I've been looking because I can hear the thunder, and I'm like, what the hell? That looked like it was on the next block over. um, but TK said, hey, y'all, hey, I made it home, food in hand. I'm glad you made it home, had to focus and couldn't text to comment. I'm glad you didn't because I don't know what part of town you in, but
Another Carol, poker mom.
you have to know who you drink with. And that's kind of like with
And that's her in the background snickering.
now put it like this: if y'all don't know Carol, if you ever met her, you would always remember her. Uh,
Yeah, she'll jack up your life. She
TK
likes to
said,
have fun. She's got a youthful spirit.
"Oh, she's fun to be around."
Like,
Um,
but sometimes I'm too old to hang out with her. Like, I'm tired. Like, and she won't let you just be lazy. She'll be like, "Listen, get up. I'm like 70 years old. Come on, let's go."
Carol is young at heart,
Yes.
and put like this: when Miss Risky and I first met, Miss Risky said, "Look, you gotta watch Carol because she'll mess around and have one too many drinks, and she'll get up on the bar and start dancing, pull her shirt off." I said, "No, not sweet little Carol." She like, "I'm telling you." Then I seen her get drunk one night, and I said, "Okay." Now she
Like,
didn't pull her shirt off. She didn't
yeah.
pull her shirt off.
But she gets a little. She's like girls gone wild. She'll say anything. She'll do anything, and she wants you to partake in those experiences with her.
Matter of fact, I think the first time we really started hanging out, it was my birthday. Uh, and people kept buying me shots that night. And I was like,
People or Carol.
I don't know, they was coming from the left and the right. But I do remember Carol ended up falling that night. And she got up
Oh
laughing.
yeah, she. To be fair, there was a cane that was at the end of the bars that no, she didn't see, but I didn't see her go down. I heard her, but I didn't know that's what had happened until I looked over and I was like, "Wait, Carol, why are you on the floor?"
I seen
And
her go
she was
down
just
there.
laughing and a giggling. Hilarious.
But how old is Carol now?
She's old. I don't know, like 73, 75, 73, something like that.
But she act
She's
like
up
she
there.
50. She act like she 50.
She acts like she's 25. Like, I was like, if we were in college together, we would not be friends. You too
Oh,
much. There's too much energy. I was going
well,
through my old photos. I'm gonna have to bring this hair back.
okay.
Look at that. I like that.
All right, I see you. Um, so you have been listening to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt, though. I'm gonna close out Anchor real quick. Anchor.fm, please continue to support the show and continue to listen to the shows that are put up and hey, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Let us know what you want us to discuss, and we'll discuss it. It's uncut, so until next time, we will see you on Sunday. Peace. All right, had to close that now. T Cal said Carol be getting it in. Talking about I like it. What's her name?
The hair.
Yeah, that hair.
I think this one's Halle, like Halle Berry. I think. I
Are
haven't
those
seen her in a minute. I'm gonna have to dig her out.
are you gonna wash it then put it in the microwave? Are those
Put it in the microwave. What are you talking about, dude?
look, I okay. Um my I hate to say my first wife, and this is another reason. Uh, okay, my first wife. I we had been drinking that night. I get up in the middle of the night, go to the restroom. Now, take it, we've been married for a while. I go to the restroom that night, and while I'm there using the bathroom, and I'm still buzzing, and I see on the cabinet, I see her. I went to, I'm up there, and I'm like, hey, what is all of this? It freaked me out. I didn't know if she got up, cut her hair that night, she got drunk, cut her hair, or what. She come in there talking about, you know, I wear a ponytail. I thought it was your hair. I didn't know. I did not know. So after that night, she would take the ponytail off. Now she had long hair, didn't have to do it, but she would take the ponytail off, wash it, roll it up, stick it in the microwave to make it curly.
Yeah, I don't do all that.
I
I
didn't
wash
I
it
didn't
and blow dry like normal hair.
I didn't know nothing about it uh, until that drunken night when I seen that. I didn't know anything about it. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's
oh,
weird.
bro. That's
But I'm,
what.
not- you know, I'm not that familiar with like all the tricks and trades of, you know, wigs because I was a braid or twist girl. But I'm getting into trying to let my hair chill out for a minute with the wigs. But yeah, like however it is how it is. Like this, it's already got the curl in it. Like I bought it with the curl. I don't have to do anything. I'm a straight bob. Yeah, I have to do some things too. So I blow dry like my normal hair.
TK said I had a roommate did the same thing. Uh, Look, now this was many moons ago, but uh, now when you dating somebody, you better run your fingers through their hair.
Oh
Make
no, you
sure that
better not.
oh, if they say it's real, well, they can say it's real, but it's not theirs. It's
Still don't
theirs
matter. You can't
because
be
they purchased it.
touching women's hair unless you got permission initially.
I just didn't know. It caught me by surprise.
But yeah, this is a horrible picture. But I have like those shoe thingies that you hang in a closet. That's where my wigs.
Uh-huh.
Those are my
Oh, okay.
wigs. In a little shoe caddy cuddy thing. So ladies, tricks of the trade. Just throw them in the cubby until you need them.
You don't have a name by it
No, I know their names. Why do I need a name by it?
in
I know
case
them.
somebody come by and you want to show them your collection. Oh, this is
No,
hot.
they can just follow me on my Instagram, and I post like every time I wear my hair. I post the names like, "Hey, everybody, welcome, Susie or whatever."
Yeah,
So yeah,
TK said no sir, no running fingers. And she said I see you organized. Um,
I try. Like
yeah,
I just like if I get a new one, I'll debut her. Like when
okay.
I brought out Erica. You know.
Oh yeah, Erica. Um, well, that's cool. That's cool. So let the people know where they can find you.
In them streets. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. All right. You can find me online at RSKEE on Instagram. That's where I live. I'm also on Twitter, TikTok. I posted another video. It's cute. RSKEE at yahoo.com if you want to send me messages for history that you want me to look up, or if you just want to say hi. RSKEEbooks.com is where you can see my works. Trying to add to the collection. One day I'll get there. So,
Yeah. And and since you brought up TikTok, I have been doing some TikToks. Normally when I'm grilling or something, I do a TikTok. Last week I did some lamb chop and some rack and lambs
yeah, I
on
was going to
there.
talk to you about your lambs
We'll talk off.
in my Gordon Ramsay voice.
Oh Lord. Hey, don't knock them until you try
No, like, listen, dude.
them. And then uh, I did that, and I think I did something else. Oh, I did some ribeye steaks on TikTok. I need to learn how to edit those things so I can be able to post the full video. So I
Uh-huh.
just do it live and I don't do it real long. But I,
It never gets old.
I did some ribeye steaks uh, and I did like some colorful potatoes. I don't know the proper name of them, but I put those on the grill too, and some Brussels sprouts. Put it on the grill too,
Little baby cabbages.
and hey, they was good. I did it all on the grill, so um, and then with the lamb chops and the uh, rack lambs, I did. No, I did the sweet potato with the lamb chop. I put them on the grill, and also I did like a cream spinach. Um, so it was actually pretty tasty. Tender is the key. So I like my steak medium rare. Um, my wife don't like that, so I went ahead and just cook them both the same. Uh, well, that is not too tough. But you can find me on social media. Go check out my TikTok page. I'm gonna do some more stuff on there besides just cooking. But check out my TikTok page. Like it, subscribe to it, and support us on all social media. On
Yeah,
TikTok,
support us all, and get the show going because we want to do some giveaways, but you need to help us out. Put our name out there. Give us some followers and some likes.
exactly. Because actually, we're gonna talk this weekend about stuff that we have coming up for the holidays. Um, so we're looking at doing some big things this year, but it's gonna take y'all to participate and do it with us. So T Cal said I'm down. I appreciate it because you always on the show supporting me. I appreciate it. And we're
We
gonna
want to give away some swag.
some swag. Holidays coming up, you never know. And you never know, we may pop up on you, roll up on you, and go live. Be like, hey, that's what we do. So so definitely continue to support the show on all platforms. If you're on YouTube, I will follow you back and do that. So we're looking at giving away some swag things later this year uh, during the holidays. Uh, who knows? I think last year we gave away a vegan meal by from Dope Boy to Hope Boy, and had gave away a meal for that for Thanksgiving, I believe it was. So you never know what might happen this year. So, but support the show, support the show. But we can do things like that. And other than that, Miss Risky look like her eyes are closed, so we finna get up out of here. Um, so until Sunday, I will see y'all then. I love each and every one of you. Until then, peace.